a bit of a mission today. Gonna have a look, well, I'm going down the allotment. Come on. It's not my allotment, it's a community allotment, one of several that are in Nottinghamshire, which is where I am now, and more than likely one of several that you can find around the country. John, you're the site manager for this plot, several plots. Tell me more.
So these allotments here have been here since Victorian times. There's two associations, the Windmill and the Mill Allotment Holders Association. And as the Mill Allotments Association, we had some spare ground that we were using as a car park but we didn't need, and we turned that into a community orchard. When the houses were built on the Speedo site, we took a lease on the spare bit of land that they had and created a Wild Flower Meadow. And the Windmill Community Gardens are also creating lots of wildlife habitat, and the Windmill allotment holders are putting in ponds beyond the community garden, and that's creating a wildlife corridor down the side of the railway that hopefully will stretch all the way to Radford in the end. This bit here was an old cinder car park.
Okay, a what car park?
A cinder. It was ash.
Oh right, yeah.
We used to get ashes from boots to surface the car park, and when we realised that we didn't need it anymore, all we did was let it go wild and slowly mow it, and then about 10 years later we started planting fruit trees into it, and that's created the community orchard.
Okay.
So, and all these trees are trees that would have historically been grown in Nottinghamshire.
Yeah.
So they're sort of heritage trees, and basically anyone in the local community, when it's fruiting time, can come and pick the fruits.
Have you got a Bramley apple one here? That's pretty famous, isn't it?
Yeah, strangely.
South Wales, Southall?
Yeah, Southall, yeah. We didn't put a Bramley apple in because of the size of it.
Right.
But all the other ones, there's Radford Beauty.
Right.
Is one of the varieties.
Okay.
So that obviously that's very local.
Is that a new variety? Or
No, that's a heritage variety.
Oh right, okay.
It was grown on these allotments. And
so they're all heritage varieties?
Yeah. One or two of the trees in here have been planted by the squirrels. So we've got a hazelnut tree over there with the multi-stems, and the squirrels just planted that for us, and when we saw it came up and realised what it was, we just left it to grow. So the squirrels are helping us as well.
Oh, fantastic. Well, who'd have thought it? 2 trees planted by squirrels. Couldn't make it up. So what's this, John?
So this area here used to be the overflow car park for the Speedo factory, because they had a shop at the end and people used to come in and buy stuff.
Like a factory shop.
When Nottingham City Housing Association took over the land and built the houses that you can see, they weren't allowed to build on this bit because being in the floodplain, they needed an area where any flood waters from the tarmacked areas could go quickly without having to go into the drainage system.
And that's the floodplain from the River Leen?
River Leen.
Yeah.
So this area here, they weren't allowed to build on, and this is where the flood runoff is. When we realised that they had this bit of spare land, we took a long lease on it from them, and with their agreement, we turned this into a wildflower area. So there are bits here that are cut as if, regularly, the grass, but there are also large bits that we don't cut from March right the way through to September, and a whole variety of wildflowers grow and flower on here, and that helps the insect and bee population.
Have you seeded any of the
No, this
things
is
for the wildflowers? Or
no,
is it just natural thing that happens?
This is the natural seed bank. The the common idea is that you want plants from the local area to grow here,
right?
Because there will already be insects here that can then take advantage of it.
Okay.
If you import seed and plant it,
yeah.
Firstly, they might not be suitable to the local ground.
The soil might not be
the soil,
suitable.
yeah. But also, it might not be any good for the insects that are already here. So we already have a very good insect population. The butterfly population is increasing, wild bees, and we do get quite a number of small rodents, voles and field mice that live in the brambles by the railway and then come out here to feed on the seeds later in the season from the wildflowers. So just more in close up, you can see there's a pathway cut for people to walk their dogs through. There's a small area of grass that's cut short, and the kids can come and play on that. But there's a large area to the right and to the left and over here that are all the wildflower areas.
How interesting is that? Wildflowers, heritage trees, some of which have been planted by squirrels. Who'd have thought it? And I'm not even at the allotment yet. It's a bit boggy down here. Let's get onto the back onto the main drag. Hi Tracey.
Yes, how are you?
Just bumped into John.
Alright. We're about to redo all these, so it doesn't look very pretty, but the mosaic looks good. Guys, we're being visited by Richard the Beery Boater. He's got a dog. So, do you already know each other?
Yeah.
And then our other fun things are our trellis made of bike wheels. We're very big on that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it looks really good, doesn't it?
Nice bit of recycling.
Yep, and
Tin Man doesn't say a lot.
no, he doesn't, does he? John's collecting pussy willow because the Ukrainian church use it in their Palm Sunday celebration.
Oh right.
So we are doing that, and we've done that for them for...
Have you got that down here then, growing?
Yeah, yes, pussy willow. You see
Oh,
all
right,
the
I'm
trees
a
that are
total-
making it. You see all the catkins?
Yeah.
So they use that instead of palms for Palm Sunday, I guess.
Okay.
In Ukraine it was difficult to get, so we've been doing that for them for, gosh, I don't know, 7 or 8 years, I think. So well before the Ukrainian crisis, and we're just doing that again. So John's just collecting some of the branches so that we can cut off the pussy willow again. John, are you having problems working out which one to go for?
Yeah, I can't really see it.
Okay, let me okay, so what you're looking for is the ones like this one.
Could be on the national news tonight.
Oh, I don't know. On a blog. If you
Yeah.
cut off that one there, the
Which
bottom,
one?
this one here.
For this one?
Yeah, cut that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're still using the crap ones. So if they don't work, it's not your fault. It's
Yeah.
because they're crap. Keep coming. Yeah, this, as I say, we're about to revamp this. It's not pretty yet. It will be. So we've got all the flowers ready, but we're going to get some new containers as well. So
Okay.
that'll all look very pretty soon, but not at the minute.
You're not short of boots, are you?
No, we have quite a
You
lot
sort
of
of
fun with
plan
these.
those?
Yes. So each year we do that. We're big on reusing.
Yeah.
So you'll notice the butterfly is made of tin cans and.
Oh, well then, brilliant idea.
And the dog needs new eyes. We've got a welly boot dog. Got these
Where's the
crazy
dog?
stacks of crockery. He's better from behind because his eyes got ripped off by some small children.
Where is he?
There. And that's all the junk.
Oh yeah.
If you put it up there then?
Yeah, put it up here, yeah.
Okay.
Up there, look.
We've got a dog here made out of Wellingtons. And the name of the dog? Welliyard. Who'd have thought it? Tell you what, you're not going to get cold fingers down here with all these gloves.
I think they have been pinched up.
Yeah, I think
Well done.
they've just got very leggy.
I was going to say, if they could be a little bit more supportive, they might be happy. Find them and bring them back.
So what have we got here?
Right, we've got lettuce, we've got mooley radish, we've got mizuna, or mibuna.
Mizuna.
Is mooley the white radish?
Yes.
Yeah, the long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other side we've got beetroot for greens and more lettuce.
Okay.
And we tried some overwintered peas, but this year they didn't like it.
No, they didn't.
Normally they're a lot happier. There we go. Would you manage to put a label in saying, or right on the side, saying that they're which ones are the hanging basket ones? Put you in. So we've got our early beetroot. I've got our early rhubarb here, simply early, and we sometimes use that to force it. Anyway, so this is our sensory garden, and we just need to do a little bit of work mending that in the next couple of weeks. This has just been cut back. These are beautiful coloured willows, but we've just done the work on those. So if you look over here, you'll see all the beautiful colours.
Oh yeah.
They're all ready to be woven into fences and various craft things for us. So they're all looking rather beautiful, and they're all ready. And this is our fedge, which is a fence that's a hedge.
Oh right,
it needs
okay.
A little bit of work on it this year.
Fedge.
Yeah, needs a little bit more work on it this year just to get it, because it's getting a bit gappy.
Yeah.
And then this is the orchard, which is plums, green gages, damsons and cherries. Okay, this is the Growing Forward garden, and it's aimed at people who have got mental health issues, anxiety, agoraphobia, that kind of thing. So they don't cope necessarily with the main volunteering, and it just means that they get a bit of one-to-one, and we also have some therapy sessions for them specifically. So they can just go online and sign up for that, and that's on a Wednesday. And then we've also got the pond, because this area floods in the winter, and so it seems sensible to dig out, make this bit higher,
Yeah.
and then cope with that. And in fact, this whole area is about the level of the River Lean, so we have a big problem because nowhere for the water to
Hence
go.
a sort of bridge way.
Yes, so you need to make everything a bit higher up. This thing has, even in the worst of the weather, didn't get flooded, so we're quite hopeful that this raised path will
You mentioned
do the job.
volunteers,
Yes.
Tracy. How many? How does
Last
that work?
year we had 75 altogether, but they didn't all come
Okay.
at once.
No.
So we have a volunteer session on a Monday from 10 till 1, and a volunteer session on a Thursday from 10 till 4, and it's always drop in. So we've got people who come along just for an hour, people who come along for the whole session.
Yeah, just get out of the house.
Yeah,
fresh
one
air.
person comes along half an hour and does so much work. She's amazing.
Yeah.
And we aim really to give people what they can cope with. So some people come along and all they do really is sit, which is fine. Some people come along and they want to do lots of hard work. So we work with both. We've got some quite old folk who need to do something where there's not a lot of physical exertion. We've got some people who just want to let off steam and get out in the fresh air, and they'll just work away at something a bit harder.
And Severn Trent lottery funds.
Yes,
I
so
noticed
Severn
those
Trent paid.
logos.
Yeah, Severn Trent paid for the work that happened here on the path and the ramp, and they also bought these for us, which is IBCs for us to collect water. We've got to do a little bit more work on that, and then we've got Boots funding up until the summer, which will be hopefully we'll get something extra coming up. We've got somebody working on getting more grant money for us. We've had money from lots of different places, but We haven't had a lottery grant recently, so I think that'll probably be the next step as well. And then we get little bits of grant money for different projects. So
is this plot actually safe then, as regards future building?
okay, so this is an allotment site, and it's a very well loved allotment site, and I think the chances of anyone wanting to build on this are fairly slim, not least because of the flooding issues.
Yeah, yeah.
We have got a lease with the Allotment Association, but basically we've been told they think we're a thing they want to keep going, so
Yeah.
that's a really good sign, I think. And they've been very friendly and kind to us. I can show you the next little bit because they were especially kind to us there. If you want
Oh
to have a
yeah,
look.
let's have a look at that.
Yep. So let's go. This is another area that
I'm
floods.
going to try and get in front of you actually,
Yeah, please do. So this is another area that floods we're going to walk into.
without
And,
falling over.
we want this as our wild garden, so we've linked up with the Nottingham Forager,
Oh right.
helping us sort out new planting. It still needs a lot of rubbish taken off it, but it's been so wet we couldn't get a skip onto the site up until recently. So now we can have a skip, we'll be able to get a skip in and get some more rubbish got rid of. But basically this site was used by a variety of people who had a lot of faith in black plastic and artificial grass.
Yeah.
So we're gradually getting rid of all that. And they had this on site. We're not entirely sure what the point of it was. We wondered if they... Oh look, we've got ducks.
Oh yeah.
We weren't sure if they were trying to balance everything water-wise, but I feel that if they were, that might have been a misunderstanding of what they were working with, because they've done another of these things here. They've done another one over there as well, and it's like a big box with pipes going out of it. But of course, if you're the lowest thing in the area, you can't really do anything about that, can you? So I'm interested. But what we had here, where the Allotment Association were kind to us, this was a massive eucalyptus tree, and it fell over. If you can see the gap in that tree over the other side,
Oh,
it
yeah.
hit it and went through it.
Yeah.
And we had basically a whirlwind. So it knocked over that, it knocked over these trees. In some of the other allotments it took the roofs off sheds and knocked over
Blimey.
walls, and it kind of just made a swathe of destruction. And the Allotment Association hired really big chainsaws and sorted it all out for us. And yeah, so we've now just got the stump, which hopefully will become good for wildlife eventually. But eucalyptus is interesting. Obviously it's not at all native, so I'm interested to know what happens with that.
Tell me more about foraging that
Okay,
you just mentioned.
so Lucy the Nottingham Forager is helping us, and she's brilliant because she knows all the native plants that you can eat or get useful products from, and she's helping us make the site into something really quite lovely, with the aim that it will still be quite wild. So we're also working with Dr. Linda Birkin to look at the wildlife on the site, and we're going to be having a bio-blitz in about 3 weeks actually.
What's that? What's a bio-blitz?
So a bio-blitz is when you get a lot of people to come and have a look at what wildlife you've got on site all at once, so that you get a picture of where it is. Probably need to do several of those over a year because things change depending on the season. So we're going to do the first one for Easter, and we'll be doing that. It's the Good Friday, I think, in the afternoon on Good Friday, so keep an eye out and we'll let you know about that to
Yeah,
let people
please
know.
do.
But we also want this to be used for forest school kind of activities and that kind of thing, and so we'll hopefully be doing that, and we're trying to keep it wild enough that it doesn't feel too much like you're coming into a park, even though there'll be a variety of plants that are being grown for the point that you can eat them. And there's a lot of nice trees here that with fruit, so we've got apple tree, plum trees, pear trees. This is a walnut above our heads, which is hilarious because it's so full of walnuts, and then suddenly there's none, and the squirrels have basically taken them all, which is a lot of fun. But yeah, we've got a lot of work to do on here still before it's really how we want it to be.
And you're pretty sort of active on social media?
We try to be. It's not anybody's paid work,
No.
so unfortunately it kind of sometimes doesn't happen as fast as it should. But yeah, we do have a fairly good media presence, and the Nottingham Forager is very good at that side.
Oh,
so.
they're all on the screen now.
Yes.
And in the comments section below.
Oh, brilliant, excellent. Yep, well done.
Like to please.
This is slightly concerned. I think that plum tree's actually fallen over even more than it had before. It's fabulous actually. There's 2 plum trees there, and one of them it has plums the size of duck eggs.
Blimey.
I mean, or goose eggs even.
Yeah.
You know, big plums.
Yeah. Can you poach plums?
Oh yes, you do
There
all
you
sorts
go.
of things with plums. Oh, I do like them. They're make fabulous jam as well. I'm quite a jam maker, and we do very good jam actually. We get a reputation. People will keep an eye on when we're making jam and come and get it specifically, because we've got some special damsons as well that are really delicious in the jam, and the soft fruit makes super jams as well. So you know, we try all sorts of things, but we're jam makers at heart, I think we say. Yeah.
Bit of self-indulgence.
Very
Nothing wrong with that.
Very possibly. And the nuts are good as well. The only thing is the squirrels start eating the nuts before they're fully ready, so we end up with something that dries up a bit in the kernel.
Right. Okay.
It's still very nice. So I don't think we're going to be making Nutella anytime soon. But we do have a lot of really nice Nottingham cobs actually that we were given. So proper cob nuts that have been bred to be particularly large.
I didn't know there's such a thing as a cob nut.
Nottingham cob is a well-known thing, and it would have been gathered specifically for hazelnut. You know, eating the hazelnuts.
Yeah.
And that's possibly, I don't know what that is, but I think that might be the crabapple. That's terrible. I should know this. Yes.
Got a lot to remember.
Yeah, I think that's the pear, looking at the style of it. Everything's upset this year because it's had its feet in water much more than it should have had, and everything's leaning a bit, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. I may have to be pinning some of them upright a bit. See if I can persuade them.
Should you have a look around your raised bed?
Yeah,
and see what we've got.
There's not a huge
what you've got
amount
happening
going
there.
on,
What have we got over there, Tracy? Through the blue gate. Is that part of your...
That blue gate's the bit you already were in.
Oh, right,
It just looks different because we used to have steps to get into it just
right.
there. And now we've got the ramp, which we never had before.
Gotcha.
And there's another... Yeah, we have an apple tree in the mix here, but most of this is privet. And we kind of keep it up just to give that feeling of privacy. But we've also got a lot of hawthorn as well, and we give the hawthorn berries to the Nottingham herbalist to use for making various medicines and things. And we do quite a lot where we give things to people. So if we have a surplus, we'll give it to maybe one of the feeding kitchens.
It's proper good life, isn't it, this?
Well, I don't know. I think if we were reliant
Probably better
on it for our food, we might be in trouble. But, and this peach tree it was in memorial to someone's granny. They wanted something, so we thought we'd have a go with peaches. It's just coming into blossom. It's grown one full-size peach, and then a few small ones, and they were delicious. But it spends a lot of time wondering why it's here. I think it's not. It's not a perfect place for a peach tree.
Well, what are these, Tracy?
So these are the coloured willows. They're from Barnesdale, where Geoff Hamilton used to do Gardener's World.
Okay.
And you see the colours in the willow that's against the hedge there. That's from these.
Oh, right.
But we have to cut them back every year so that they'll make the colour, because it's the new growth that does it.
Right.
So they look like fireworks. You're just a week late. They looked amazing last week.
So what's your background, Tracy? You seem to be a horticulturalist.
I'm actually a geography teacher.
Oh, right, okay.
So I did my geography degree, and I decided that children learning about the environment was where I wanted to be at. So I then did a teaching degree, and I worked for a small charity in northeast Scotland doing school grounds and helping schools learn about the environment. And then after I had my kids, came down here, started working for groundwork, doing similar kind of things, and then
you're obviously passionate about it.
Oh, absolutely. And we have a lot of school kids coming in, and I feel that part of what we need to do is help people understand that where you are is special. Everybody thinks somewhere else is special.
Yeah, you never appreciate what's on your own doorstep, do you?
Yeah, and the people in the Amazon feel the same. They think their bit's more boring, you know, potentially. Not everybody, but so we need everybody to value where they are and understand that there's all sorts of wonderful things going on, and that they need to look after it and cherish it. And here, I think we're doing that quite well.
I think you are.
I hope so. We had a lovely group on Monday, school kids, and they were learning about how animals need different habitats, and we did a lovely job there, and they were so keen to make sure that we did it right. It was just beautiful, absolutely lovely.
And do you have is it an art fortnight at certain times of the year?
Last year, every 2 years we do an art festival where we get local people to do art and local artists as well. This year we're going to have a wellness event, which is called the Feel Good Garden Party. And then our big thing every year is a pumpkin event towards Halloween, where we're trying to persuade people that they should eat the pumpkins as well as do lovely artistic things with them. So what we're aiming always is for people to keep the stuff that they carve out of the pumpkin and actually turn that into food. So we do that to show them, because everyone says, oh, I don't like pumpkin, and then they come out going, gosh, that was delicious, what was that? And we said, well, it was pumpkin. So I think we've done the jobs.
Right, so we've got some raised beds here.
Yes, so what we have here is, this one at the moment is lamb's lettuce. Over here we've got some scorzonera and raspberries, but these ones we tend to be growing sweet corn and beans and things in this kind of area. Also pumpkins, squashes, courgettes, but obviously it's too early in the year for that to be happening. We tend to save them for that kind of crop, just because those don't really like being in the high beds particularly. We can get away with courgettes a bit, but obviously it tends to be drier in the high beds. And then the high beds at the moment are not very well filled, but we have got a bit of chard just here, and we've got some chard there. And then over here we've got garlic and onions on that side. There's a permanent bed there which is all dyers plants. Scorzonera there as well. Scorzonera all over the place. And that's actually our asparagus bed, but it's become
I like asparagus.
Flowery bed as much as anything else. And then we try and put flowers and potatoes on the ends. One of the low beds will have potatoes in it probably, and maybe one or two of the high beds.
I can't help but notice your summer house shed, whatever it is, very elaborate.
Yes, we call it the super shed.
Super shed.
Yes, it's all designed so that it's fully accessible, so although it's got a step, we actually do have a ramp. And in here we've got a rather nice setup.
Oh yeah.
And it's lovely and warm, isn't it? So
it
this
is.
little stove, you might want to tell people that the little stove is actually completely embedded in concrete, so if they try and nick it, it won't be an easy job. But yeah, we're self-sufficient in wood pretty much. We do get a little bit of help from some of the other allotment holders, but in theory the wood is just coppiced each year.
Yeah.
So we
sort of dry that out.
We do. We dry it out in the dead hedges.
Yeah.
And then we harvest the dead hedges. Also, we use our own harvested wood for supports for plants, for doing woven edges to the herb beds and around the pond and stuff. And of course, once that's dry, that can come in here as well. So it's a virtuous circle, and we believe that we're very sustainable.
Yeah.
I know some people say, oh, you can't burn stuff because it's not sustainable, but to me it's surely more sustainable than bringing bottled gas on site and stuff like that.
Oh goodness, yeah.
So we heat our water either on here or we have samovars.
What's that?
Oh, a samovar.
Mm.
Would you like to see our samovar?
Interesting word. Could be a good name for a beer. Pint of
Samovar.
Samovar, please,
I might
landlord.
think it's a bit watery though. Are they going to be long enough?
They're even shorter in there. These are the longest ones.
Right, I can cut longer ones for you if you want longer ones rather than. There's still some hazel to be coppiced in one or two areas, but I've got more at home as well. So here's the plant shop. Should you want any strawberries, holly, wibbly willow as we call it. We've got one or two other things in there, but it needs a little bit of revamping, which we're working on. A few sages. There we go. So this is a samovar.
Oh, sure, it's not a whiskey.
There's no still involved. So you put the water in here.
Right.
This chimney goes all the way up the inside.
Right.
And there's a little firebox at the bottom which you light, and then when you want your water just turn your tap and it's great. It doesn't fill very fast, but that doesn't matter really, and then we put them into pump flasks so that we've got hot water.
And where in the world would this have originated?
Probably this one's Turkish. You get them in Russia as well, and people nowadays they have electric ones like we have kettles. But for me it's a really good design. We used to have a Kelly kettle,
right,
and the problem with the Kelly kettle is you can end up not realising it's about to boil and put more sticks in, and then you're lifting up the whole kettle off the fire and you've got sticks that are alight flying everywhere, whereas this one that never happened. And as long as you make sure it never boils dry, you're great. And this can do 5 litres of water in, I don't know, 10 minutes, something like that, so that's pretty good. If you make sure you keep it. That's what, a gallon? That's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot, isn't it?
Yes, I think I mean 5 litres. I think it is. That's probably about right, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like the size of a demijohn, which is
it goes
probably
all the way
gallon.
up the top.
Yeah.
You know. And it makes our lives a lot easier. We've got 2 of them.
Right.
We've got Sam Samovar and Samantha Samovar.
Oh. Everything has names down in allotments.
Samantha's faster and more effective than Sam.
Oh right.
Yeah, there we go. So that's where we're at. Yeah.
And this is just your sort of.
Oh god, yeah. It needs tidying again because we've had to move. We've had to move some of the stuff out of the.
It's a shed.
The broken-in shed, though.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't normally look like this.
So you're a bit out of the way, Tracy, but not always safe.
Unfortunately, no. Somebody came and they decided that what was ours was theirs, and they did this to the hinge, which is pretty catastrophic. As you can imagine, we don't want to buy another hinge from the same company, so I have to take it off to get it made by somebody in something stronger. And we'll probably replace the top one as well. But sadly, unless we'd have to redo the door, and I don't think we're going to have to, it's going to come in under the excess. Fortunately, the good people of Nottingham and surrounding areas are being really generous and lovely to us and helping us, because they also stole all our cooking pots, which is just insane. So they stole all those. They stole a few of our mugs, which was a bit of a surprise. They stole our tap. I bet
didn't steal the ones with chips on the.
I didn't check. They was a rather nice set of
Let's
mugs.
hope they did.
They obviously took a fancy to, and they took quite a lot of our little tools. And we've got a socket set. They took. We've got, they took our battery drill, and good luck to them because we've got the charger. So, ha!
I've got a battery drill. You can have.
What you'd give us?
Yeah, you can have it.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Yes, please. Has it got some
the charger?
Bits?
I can give you loads of bits.
That'd be amazing. That'd be lovely. Yeah. Oh, that's very kind of you. Gosh.
No problem.
Oh, that'd be amazing. I mean, really, we're we've found people have been so kind, and it's been just lovely. That's made us feel a lot better. I believe in this world that 99.9% of people are just super, and the rest of them we have to cope with. And I meet lots of lovely people here. From all walks of life, all over the world. We've got a policy. We are particularly refugee friendly. We cope with, you can call yourself anything you want to, dress any way you want to. Everybody gets along, and it's just lovely.
You're going to go at my fashion status.
I think you look wonderful.
Thank you.
But
I'm dressed for the climate. I don't care what people think.
And the bow in your hair looks particularly fetching.
Oh yeah, I've always liked pink.
Yeah. No, it's just really good to feel that everybody feels happy and safe here. You notice the train there.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of a surprise.
Well.
Yeah, a bit of a surprise sometimes, but we hardly notice it now.
You mentioned cooking.
Yes, we cook quite a bit.
And you also mentioned pizza.
Yes, do you want to have a look?
Oh, let's have a look.
Try not to tip over. We're redoing our herb weaving, so that's why this all looks like this. We have woven edges for quite a few things because it's a nice way of using materials that we've got on site. So we've got our various barbecues and things that we use occasionally, and then here's our clay oven. It probably needs a little bit of TLC after the winter, but it does a really lovely pizza.
Oh yeah.
Oh well, don't look at that. So in there, if you have a look, it's got a pizza stone.
Oh yeah.
It'll do you 2 or 3 small pizzas at a time. And
how long do they take to cook?
About 30 seconds, something like that.
Oh blimey.
Yeah, it's very quick when it's hot. But it's got a name. It's now, what is it called? Geoff the Unicorn Dragon, because we got it remade for us by some children, because it basically involves you making a lot of mud and then putting mud into it.
Yeah.
And we said, what would you like to call it? Because you get a chance to name it, and that's what they decided to call it. It was various people wanting it to be called different things, and they amalgamated it. So Geoff the Unicorn Dragon. We want to put a chimney on it, actually. So
not quite got the Italian ring to it, but
not quite, no. But
useful all the same.
Yeah, but the chimney will make it work better. At the moment, this is just smoke; it's nothing worse.
Yeah, well, it'll draw the.
Yeah, because there's a hole in the roof designed to draw the stuff out. But if we have a chimney that goes out of the back, I think that'll probably work a little better. And then over here is our kitchen, which was made for us by the Office of the Public Guardian. It sounds like something out of Tolkien, doesn't it? But apparently they're the people who look after your interests if you become unable to look after your own, and they're the people you'd report to. It's all a bit of a mess at the minute because of the break-in. We haven't quite sorted everything out fully yet. But all the empty hooks that used to be lots of cooking pots, we've been given another couple. But as I say, it all needs a bit of.
So how do you go on for water down here?
We only have it from Easter until the beginning of November, after November the 5th, because they turn it off. So we have to bring our.
Oh, so it is plumbed in.
But not here. We actually get there's a tap just there.
Oh right, okay.
This is a water barrel.
Yeah.
But as I say, everything's just in uproar because they kind of just took everything out and put it all. So
yeah.
We've prioritised doing work on the
you
beds
need to get
and things and
as well, don't you?
Kind of thing. So, but we will be having another sort out in here. We seem to spend our lives resorting ourselves.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, but it's a really handy thing to have, and it makes life very easy to have an outdoor indoor kitchen for events and things. But it just needs, what we need is a handy person. So if you're handy yourself and feel like popping down now and again, or know anybody else who is.
A bathroom and kitchen fitter before I went into teaching.
Were you now?
So,
what did you teach?
I went on to computer science.
Really?
And iMedia.
Ah.
I'm semi-retired.
Right.
So I just do a bit.
Well, if you feel like popping along and helping us, we're always in need of a bit of woodwork and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That'd be lovely. Unfortunately, we've got to redo the beds because the new version of tannalising just doesn't last as long as the old version. So we thought when we made them about 5 years ago that they would last 10 years, and sadly they aren't doing.
Do you get sort of boards donated from scaffolding companies?
Sadly, no.
Have you asked?
You have to, yes, and they sell them now. There's a market for it.
Of course, yeah.
So we buy them, but even then, the actual tannalising process obviously just isn't as effective. These ones were put together, as I say, maybe one lot 6 or 7 years ago, one lot the year after. And they are unfortunately all breaking up. But as you'll notice, we put welcome in as many languages as we can on the beds. And we're actually about to do a language project where we're collecting words for the sort of things that you will be using in an allotment, things that you'd be growing in an allotment, so that when we have people who don't have English as a first language, we're able to communicate with them more easily. And that project's going to be starting soon. And what we're going to do is produce a sort of picture chart so that people can point to specific things and tell us what they are. And we'll hopefully then get posters that show some of the results and share the results with lots of other community gardens. Maybe even get something where you can use a translator on it if we have people who've got the skills. Smiles winningly. But that will be beyond the scope of the initial project. But I think that could be an interesting
I can order a pint of beer in German, but that's my linguistic skills. that is it.
We do have several people who speak different languages who come as standard. So we have people who are French, German, Spanish speakers, people who speak Arabic, Urdu, and what else? A couple of other ones anyway. So you know, we're quite good for that. Farsi, there we go.
Okay.
Quite good for helping some people, but obviously we haven't got everything, and we haven't got any major speakers of African languages as standard, although we have friends who do, especially Nigerian languages. But what we'd love is just that everybody feels at home.
Yeah.
And if anyone who watches you speaks a language that's not represented on any of the words on the beds, let us know and we'll put it on, you know, it's all good.
Not only have we got an abundance of gloves, but we're not short of watering cans down here. I say we. The Windmill Allotment. What we got over here? Apart from the railway line and the train, which hopefully is on time, the compost heap. What a pleasant morning out. If you do want to know more about the Windmill Allotments, then the website and socials are on the screen now, and they're also in the comments section below. It only leaves me one thing to say: do like, share and subscribe, and as always, cheerio now.